Bitcoin, looking for those mad gains. Instead, I guess we're too late. I think I found some, boys, but this can't be right, boys. No way! Get your ass back to the ship, we're going! Maybe Elvis ain't dead after all.
This is Radar Command. Prepare for incoming troll attack.
The data, it's all coming so fast. This is off the Richter.
This is Bridge to Command. Reset all coordinates to Pulse Bitcoin.
Where'd you get this new hyperdrive from, mate?
Got it off Dodgy Dave down Spaceport 3. Getting 3 hyperdrives a day out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Tonight, we are talking everything Pulse Bitcoin, everything ASIC mining token, and Pulse Dogecoin. Yes, you're in the right place.
The stream will commence shortly.
Pulse Bitcoin is fully decentralized. No founder, government, bank, or hacker can shut it down. The code is 100% immutable. Pulse Bitcoin has a limited supply of 21 million and is deflationary, unlike the US dollar.
Hey man, I heard about this Pulse Bitcoin thing, man. It's just really awesome. How the hell we get some? Give me a website, man. Where do I buy it?
live stream has commenced. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the solution.
Who that big pearl? When I pull up, it's her. I'm just a it girl. I just rock big pearl. Who that girl? Sit on that wet. Who that? With the baddest on the net. Who that? Network going.
Okay, we should be working. Let me know if you can hear me. How's it going, everyone? Bit of a chaotic start. We're getting used to these chaotic starts. I wasn't going to stream today, to be honest with you, but I was just about getting ready to settle down for the evening, and something kind of got me excited. I kind of started seeing the Ethereum chart doing something interesting, so I thought I might as well go live and talk about it. It looks like Ethereum is on the verge of breaking out. So let's dive straight into it. Let me quickly say hello to everyone. Well, that's me saying hi. So hi twice. Evening all. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, cool mate. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Long time to speak. And we have, yeah, cool mate. Yeah, so hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can. I also had another hiccup. Not only did my microphone stop working, hopefully it's working now. But yeah, my every time I try and I've got this microphone kind of thing, right? You can see it here. And they work quite well when you're out and about. But you have to plug a receiver into your iPhone, which is what you're watching me through. And supposedly you're able to put your plug in through the receiver. But every time I do it, the machine gods don't like it, and they either destroy my audio or cut the camera. So I get microphones under $100, right? But we're not yet earning enough money through Hex, Pulse Bitcoin, and Pulse Chain to buy some top of the notch equipment. So we're gonna have to put up and shut up for now. Oh, thanks, man. It sounds good, does it? That's good to hear. Yeah, so let's jump straight into it, shall we? Oh, let me quickly go to my settings here. Now, I want to be able to share a screen. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Entire screen. Yes, let's do entire screen. No, we can't do that. Let's try and share this one. Okay. Looks like we can see it. Let's put me in the top corner where I belong. Never put me in the corner unless I'm on a stream. Yeah. So we weren't streaming. We were only streaming to YouTube as well. That's another problem. That's the problem when you go live really quickly. But now I think we're streaming to X. So we've got low numbers today, but who cares? This is some alpha for anyone that's watching. Yeah, I was kind of, obviously I wasn't expecting much of a pullback with this recent pump. I know a lot of people were expecting this massive pullback, but you know, watching people that are much smarter than I am, including Eric Crown, who I watch religiously for my macro. as well as some others, and then I kind of draw some little things myself and my child, do my own investigations, but he's my kind of go-to guy. But he was kind of drawing a lot of attention in the last few days, saying, look, this impulse move we've had up recently is not just like a short-term thing where we're going to suddenly get a massive pullback. This is an impulsive move. This is something where we're going to so everyone and their dog, right, probably missed this pump we had in crypto, and now everyone's thinking comfortably, the same way they were waiting comfortably for, let's put me back on camera while I talk here. The same way they were so comfortably and arrogantly saying they were waiting for the October time to buy, right? The same way they're so arrogant now of saying, oh, don't worry, this is a big move we've had. I'll just wait for a 20% pullback and I'll jump straight in. I'll wait for 70K and jump back in, or this is a fake out, it's going back down. So Crown has been crunching these numbers, and once we're above the 200-day moving average so clearly and so aggressively, now we've got all the PMI, all the business cycle kind of starting to show strength. All this liquidity is coming to market from the US government buying back its bonds. Now it looks like China starting to flood money into the market. I don't know. I think this could be an impulsive move that catches a lot of people out. It's already caught a lot of people out. Now everyone's shorting, who's, they're still stuck in their conviction that, okay, I was wrong about the move. Well, I'll probably get a pullback and I'll just buy the pullback, right? So we all know crypto doesn't work like this. The price of gold, what happened to that? It was suppressed. Everyone gave up. Retail gave up. And then when JP Morgan, when all the big companies decide they want to push it, they push it. And do they give you a chance to get in? Quite often, no, they don't. So statistically, when we look at the statistics, it looks like this is the first part of the move. We could potentially move up to around 87,000 if we look at the mean average for Bitcoin. We could move slightly higher than that. We could move slightly lower than that. But according to Crown and his data, which he's been crunching, you should go check that out if you want. It's a long video, but worth checking out. These pullbacks tend not to give people too much of a chance to get in. It's more likely we go up to the high 80s, and then maybe we have a mean average of maybe 15% pullback, 20% pullback, But what I'm saying is it's looking very likely, according to some of this data, when we look at the momentum stochastic on the 1 week, the 2 week, the 3 week, relatively high time frames, all the momentum stochastics are pointing upward. So yeah, I'm still bullish here. Not uncautiously bullish, but I think this pullback we're having now in Hex and Pulse Chain, Pulse Bitcoin, everything is quite healthy. You never want to go straight up in a straight line. It's never good for anyone. You want to kind of create good, solid staircasing on the way up, Because if you move too fast, not only do you not allow buyers to get in, which is good, but you need to give a chance for sellers to sell. Otherwise, someone who's a savvy investor who bought your token at $1, if you just go and launch straight up on an elevator up to $2, right, rather than staircasing 10 cents every week, they may well have dumped on you at $1.20 and been happy with 20 cents profit, so 20% profit. But instead, you've powerhouse straight up and allowed them way more profit than they would have held for, right? So yeah, but sometimes obviously you do have to power up like we've seen now. But anyway, I'm driveling on. Let's quickly jump into what's going on now. We've got the market closing in just over an hour. Let's have a look, shall we? Good to see you, Chaztown. Good to see you, buddy. Let's show this. Yes. Okay. Back in the corner where I belong. Okay. So what we're doing now is we're not looking at the Bitcoin chart right now. We can do. There's Bitcoin. Right. Don't know why that's showing. I never really look at the 4 hour, but I thought let's look at the 4 hour because I'm kind of spending a lot of time looking at the charts right now because we've had such a big move. And obviously the next move could be quite big, whether it be down or up. So I've been kind of moving down to the 4 hour chart. I often only look at the weekly and the daily. It's much, much healthier for your mental health. But Obviously, we've got a 70k area, a line in the sand. If we go below 70k, close the daily below there, then it's pretty much game over for the bottom being in here. That's why that's there in red. 72 is the bottom. I think it's acceptable for a pullback. 74 is the top range for a pullback. So if we do have a pullback, I expect it to be in this region, which would be healthy. But obviously, as every week closes above this region, the moving averages will move up. So what I'm really expecting here is a move anywhere from maybe up to 86, anywhere up to 93 perhaps. Not financial advice. I'm no TA expert. I'm just going to do a lot of research on this stuff, and it seems more likely than not. But as I say, I could be wrong. So there's no guarantee. Don't make financial investments based on my TA. Obviously, we're bull flagging here. This isn't the best type of bull flag, right? Because you're ascending. So these tend to be weaker when you're ascending like this. They're more likely to break down than up. But if we go and look at Ethereum, this one's looking much better. This is much more of a neutral bull flag rather than ascending, which is obviously showing more strength to us, right? Just drop my rolling paper there. Yeah, so this one's looking a lot better to me. So we've had a higher low there, a second higher low, right? And what's really interesting here is the bullish divergence between those lows. So one here and the second one here. We've printed lower using this green line on the RSI. So we've got hidden bullish divergence here, which I did publicize in the Pulse Bitcoin chat around 4 hours ago in the Telegram room, which you can join. If you go to the bottom left of your screen, you'll see the Telegram app. Sorry, the scannable image there. If you want to jump in there, but we did draw attention to this. So yeah, I'm just kind of on watch really. Obviously, we were pumping quite hard with Ethereum. Bitcoin's basically at no growth right now, pretty much zero. Ethereum's up 2%. So as you can see, we're running out of landing ground here, right? The plane is trying to take off and it's running out of runway. So if the plane doesn't take off from the runway, pretty much, well, I would say within the next latest possible time it's got to take off is by, so I've got to move my screen to the side, is by, let's say, this time tomorrow, very latest, but realistically, we'd expect it to happen in the next 4 to 6 hours, really, if it's going to happen. Otherwise, it's probably a fake out. But this is looking very possible that it could break out. Now, let's see what happens in the last 20 minutes of this daily candle. But looking at the RSI, things do look okay here so far, right? So we've kind of been compressing here. We've got the bullish divergence, I've just shown you there. We've just had a cross of the yellow signal line. Obviously, we need this candle to close. That closes in 2 hours. So we have the daily closing in an hour, and then so this could very easy, ladies and gentlemen, go back down, right? This could very easily just go back down there, and we can consolidate for another 12 hours. But then pretty much we have to either go up or go down. You know, so all I'm trying to draw your attention to right now is the fact that a big move potentially is imminent. So just wasn't sure how aware of that you are. I'm just having a glass of red wine here as we settle down. Cut down my drinking now to once a week, usually with friends, and then perhaps a glass or two on a weekday. Much better. Been going running, going to the gym. I tend to enjoy life too much in the summer. I tend to train really hard, do lots of cardio, work out, watch weight through autumn, winter, even into spring. And then when summer comes around, I tend to kind of go out, travel, eat a lot of food, drink a lot of wine, drink a lot of beer. And the health side kind of tends to suffer. So we're just kind of getting back into that. So yes, as you can see, what we really want to see, we got this cross of the yellow, and the last time this happened, obviously, when you cross, we have a chance here to break out of this, right? We have a chance to break out and send us back to Valhalla. Now, I want to draw attention to the ETH BTC. So that's that part there. That's what's going on. You can kind of see we're just bull flagging. So we've got potential bull flag here. Target zone could be anywhere from 2,000, let's say 2,900 up to 3,200, right? Anything can happen in a crazy market like this. As you can see, we've got previous resistance around that area, right? Last time we kind of pumped, we came up to this level. We actually consolidated for quite a while before going up. But if you go to the daily, you can see that ETH does like to have these V-shaped recoveries. Example 1, just there, right? So when ETH likes to move, it tends to move fast. Now let's quickly look at the ETH BTC ratio, because this one's really interesting, right? So ETH BTC, before I went live, this was a full candle here. So it looks like you can kind of see it, can't you? ETH being up 2%, Bitcoin being up 0.1%. We're starting to see ETH breakouts here on the 4-hour chart. Now, this could be a fake out. This could be a wick. If we close back underneath this, this back within, we could see some, the market makers love to do this, don't they? They love to give us a wick, and then they love to rug pull us, and then we do something like this. So that can be fully possible. But the point of the stream is, ladies and gentlemen, is that now's the time to be paying attention to the charts. Because what's good for Ethereum, ladies and gentlemen, being Pulse Chain's testnet, is good for Pulse Chain. Let's see if we've got any comments. Yeah, alt dominance. Good to see you, Ram 888 Spirit. 888's a lucky number right here. Yeah, I think it's a lucky number. So obviously, yes, let's have a look at the RSI on the 4-hour. See, I never look at the 4-hour, but it's interesting, isn't it? It's a bit more kind of fun if you're doing this daily. To look at the 4-hour, you're kind of more plugged into the action. But yes, as you see also here, it's kind of crucial, isn't it? Really, we're trying to confirm this breakout. So on the 4-hour, we have to go another couple of hours above this. Let's see if the bulls try and take control over the next hour for the daily close. And if they do, they're going to confirm control by getting into the bullish control zone above 60 here, highlighted in the green line. So all eyes on this, ladies and gentlemen. And if this happens, I think we're going to have a very fun few weeks, right? Or a fun few days at least with our price action. MACD just moving to the positive, which is also a good sign. We just had a nice cross here. Blue cross in the orange, always a good sign. Last time it happened was on the 19th of August. Let's see what happened on the 19th of August, shall we? Oh, look. Oh, look. What a coincidence. What a damn coincidence. On the 19th, when that happened last, we had a nice run-up, didn't we? Of 12, 13%. So, yes, it is important. And we also had a cross of the yellow line. We've already crossed that here. But then getting into the bullish control zone. Plus the cross there, it takes off. So we are in the same thing where the MACD is going back to green. We're having the signal line cross, and we're also then entering the bullish control zone on the RSI. So as you can see, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a recipe for fun times, especially for all coins, right? So there we are. Maybe something like this or something like this, and bring it up into our previously highlighted red zone there, where we've had lots of historical resistance. So that would line up perfectly for our next move, wouldn't it? Of moving currently from 0.3 up to 0.34, 0.33. And wouldn't that be nice? That would start to be a nice, healthy road to recovery. Obviously, zooming out, we are breaking out this this other larger kind of bull flag, which also has a measure move. We're kind of already on the way there, as you can see by this green line I've drawn, which is covered from here. We're kind of looking to these price areas of 0.53 to 0.62. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see who's in the chat. We've got 10 people watching on YouTube, 20 of you watching on X. Very low numbers from what we used to. But of course I didn't advertise the stream at all. Had some technical issues. So I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad you're all with me. Let's move on to Hex, shall we? So this is Hex on Ethereum. Obviously, we all know that's the green zone I was telling everyone and their mother to buy. And now everyone's, I've noticed some people being slightly disappointed recently. They're saying, oh, Hex on Ethereum has not been performing as well as Hex on Pulse Chain the last few weeks. Well, yeah, sure. That happens, right? I mean, Hex on Pulse Chain, so Hex on ETH has been consolidating now for 2 weeks, but when it moves, it moves. I wouldn't give up on that. So obviously, right, it's doing some sort of messy kind of like bull flag, I guess you kind of call it. I mean, what would you call this shit? It's real messy, right? But yeah, I mean, this is real messy. If you got rid of the wicks and did something like this, maybe that's a little bit more clearer. You got these kind of fake out these wicks because of the liquidity being low. But we're doing something like this, ladies and gentlemen. And what I'm trying to draw attention to here, we have a higher low here and here. And we're starting to show some, it's very weak, but we're starting to show some bullish divergence, right? Slightly lower on the RSI, slightly higher on the low there. So again, zooming out, we are part of a much larger descending wedge. There we are, starting to make our move up to our first target of 3.8, 0.038. These prices are so crazy low. Once we start getting to 1 cent, it's gonna be so much easier to give prices. So minimum, we got 160% move here, up to 200% move on the first impulse, I think. Second impulses are usually much larger than the first, so that makes sense, right? So it makes sense that it was much larger than this first one. And look how tiny that is, ladies and gentlemen, on the great scheme of things. Look how tiny. So that's our first kind of target area, first resistance. Around this point, we've had previous resistance, previous bounces. So we still have a nice 5x, 6x. Let's say a 5x up to the first proper resistance for EHEX. Good to see you, CX My Pulse. Yeah, please share this, guys. Please share this on X. Bad performance on my end of going live at the right time here, but yes. If you're new to the stream, we've just been covering how we think Ethereum is doing really well against ETH BTC. Very well against ETH BTC. So yeah, we're just saying how we might be bull flagging out, breaking out against BTC. All eyes on that. Let's have a look at PLS while we're here. Also, some potential bullish divergence forming on the RSI. Obviously, this is the 4 hour. We're kind of for once going into. Oh, we just left Coffee stream. Oh, I didn't know. I saw St. Wolf was streaming today. I didn't know Coffee was streaming. I didn't really want to kind of stream while they were still streaming, but it's good to see. This is what we want to see, man. Is Pulse Chain regulars starting getting regular again, eh? Thank you. Let me quickly roll this, and I'll play a little tune, and we'll come straight back, and we'll get onto the Pulse Chain charts and all that fun stuff, and some news, maybe. Yeah. Say hello in the chat if you're lurking and you haven't said hello. Please say hello. We want to hear from you, of course. And if there's anything you want to see, let us know.
I think cryptocurrency is one of the few things in the world that could really return power back to the people. Every year you get less and less choice, your money's worth less and less, your hours get longer. It seems like almost everything's getting worse. And crypto is one of the few things that lets you extract yourself from that horror. You can participate in the world's highest performing asset class. You can participate in trustless peer-to-peer revolution in finance where, you know, there's no banking hours. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's you and the code. You know, nobody else can stop you from cashing out. Nobody else can stop you from doing what you want to do. And, you know, when you give people the power to create good things, they quite often do. A lot of innovations come from cryptocurrency. There's things you can do in crypto that you can't do anywhere else in the world. And I'm proud to be part of that revolution.
Okay. We are back. Let's have a quick look on the comments, see who's jumped in. Oh, good to see you. Oh, we got some new friendly people in the chat. Let's say hello to Gig Gaming TV. Good to see you, bro. If I know you, let yourself be known. But thank you for some of you for saying hello. Alan, good to see you, Alan. Away from you. I believe I recognize that avatar. Is that from a movie? CX My Pulse says 7 p.m. East Coast time. Right now, good time to stream. Usually quiet now. Okay. So it's midnight here in the UK, but being full-time crypto, I don't really mind staying up late. It's not like I have to wake up early, but I try not to go to bed too late, you know? Oh, Chappelle. Oh, I thought I recognized. This is Dave Chappelle. Do you know what it is? It's really small. It's on my laptop in the corner there, so I can't see it very well. It's Dave Chappelle. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Just having a little cigarette here before we go on to the next thing. Yeah, so let's get back to the chart, shall we? Let's get back to the meat and gravy. Okay, so bullish divergence potentially forming here on PLS, right? But you could argue that bottom's not confirmed yet, but it looks like it could be. So let's just show where that is. So we've got higher low on the price chart, and then we have a lower low on the RSI. But I've heard there was a whale that came in. I wouldn't say a whale, but there was someone that came in quite a large position, managed to buy up some of these Richard Hart tokens at the bottom. Maybe he was watching these streams. You never know. Jokes aside, but they were dumping, and obviously we had some people rotating into Pruvex, which I always think is a bad idea personally. I don't think you should ever rotate just because you see one core going up one day and then the other one going up the other day. It's a bad. You'll constantly be chasing if you do that. It's a risky game. So try to think more strategically. What tokens you like. So the way I kind of build my portfolio is I try to look historically and what I kind of seen historically over the last few years, and I follow the narrative that Pulse Chain was pretty much built for Hex, so Hex will always be my largest holding in the RH ecosystem. And then I can kind of think to myself, well, Pulse, yes, I disagree with Crypto 7, even though Pulse is the main token. It's very rare that the main token outperforms smaller tokens on it. So I tend to use Pulse for gas pretty much. I tend not to hold any liquid Pulse. I use it for liquidity positions. I use it for gas. But I pretty much use it. It's always in full use. It's always being used to trade PulseX, to trade Hex, to buy Pulse Bitcoin, PruveX, things like that. You know, it's never really held in my wallet, liquid. There's so much stuff you can do with your Pulse, right? But that's my position. But yes, it looks good for me. It looks good to me here. Pulse in general. Obviously, very similar to Hex. We're breaking out of this downward wedge. Let's go to the daily. Breaking out of this downward wedge. See, this is a pump for ants, really. We got so much bigger things coming here. Crypto 7 saying we've got 7x according to ChatGPT for Christmas. That would be great, wouldn't it? Let's say a 10x, right? Wouldn't it be nice to have a 10x? Think how happy you'll be sitting with your family at Christmas with a 10x. It'd be life-changing for me. I don't know about you. But it'd be nice, wouldn't it? And I think that now is the time. Obviously, I'm following the theory that we are in a mid-cycle correction. Let me pull something up on that because this guy says it very well. Where is he? Let's find him. Can I find him? I probably won't be able to find him now, will I? There he is. Here he is. So this is Psychedelic, and he says, and I do agree with him. I've agreed with him for the last year. He says it's really starting to come together. This overall macro setup is something we've really been following for a very long time now. And with this recent Bitcoin move, things are shaping up quite quickly. His entire thesis over the last year has been that we are in a mid-cycle correction, as I've been saying, with a much larger, currently unknown cycle length. I'd agree with that. We don't know how long this bull market will last for, because this is a change of the current pattern. He says, so we've got the business cycle contraction, which is true. Something we've covered a lot on this channel is the copper to gold ratio. You see here at the top, 1, 2, 3, and the business cycles at the bottom here. So this is something I've been drawing attention to for a long time on the channel, business cycle and copper to gold, and all these liquidity events occurring, that we are in a mid-cycle correction. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, the mid-cycle correction is always way more parabolic. The second level bull run is almost always far more parabolic than the first half of a bull run. So that's why a lot of people are sitting there confused, saying, "Oh, the last bull run, it was only really for Bitcoin and maybe a couple of other tokens. We never really got an altcoin season. Ethereum never really broke out of its consolidation." And they just kind of put that down to it being some sort of strange bull run. Well, I don't think that's the case. I think you're misreading it. I think what you're now seeing is the second half of the bull run, where Ethereum is starting to outpace Bitcoin, right? This is what happens in the second half of a bull run. What you're seeing now, right? This breakout area, that's the second half of a bull run. So you get Bitcoin runs, corrects. Ethereum starts to outperform Bitcoin, which we're now starting to see. And then you start to see alts outperform. And obviously the good alts like Pulse Chain and Hex, you don't really have to wait. You still start pumping aggressively even during the Ethereum cycle. And looks like our market maker even front ran this cycle. So we've had the macro backdrop signaling this is where we were. However, Bitcoin was not playing ball. Now it seems like we're finally playing catch up, or Bitcoin's finally playing catch up. Basically, what he's saying is we've seen stocks go up and pretty much Bitcoin not. So now we're finally starting to see the rotation, it seems like. But yeah, there you are. I thought that was an interesting post. It kind of summarizes where I'm feeling like we are. Obviously, we've got some interesting stuff which may be leading to a potential pump right now. We've got China's central bank injecting potentially up to 600 billion yuan or yen, which is $89 billion potentially into its banking system starting tomorrow. And there's also rumors that they're going to lift the control cap on how much their citizens can hold in US dollars and foreign assets. I think it's currently capped at 60,000 US dollars, which will be a massive liquidity event for anything to do with the US stock market and or crypto. Obviously, there is a slight cause of concern with the current inflation going on. There's rumors the Fed may not be lowering rates because of the concern about inflation, but at the same time, we have the White House obviously on the verge of potentially using up to $0.9 trillion to buy back more of its bonds, which is just completely parabolic. It seems like we had some slightly disappointing news today, very slightly, that the US economy isn't expanding as much as we'd hoped. But I would suggest that all eyes on the speech on Friday at Jackson's Hole. That's going to be very significant, and to kind of see where Morsh is leading. And obviously, there's a lot of industrialists with their secret meetings will be going on back then. A lot of people will be talking. Moving around a lot of liquidity into different positions. This is where billionaires meet to have these sort of discussions, right? And government people. So yes, and then obviously on Monday we have the manufacturing PMI coming out, which is going to be very exciting. And this is my favorite one, the manufacturing PMI, because is it going to load for me? Yes, it's going to load for me. Look, so I sampled the last 2 times where we had bull runs for Ethereum and altcoins. Sample 1 back here in 2016. Sample 2 started 2020, I believe. Yep. And now this is the section where copper to gold is going up. PMI is printing. So on Monday, will we get another print higher? Wouldn't that be great? If we get another print higher, even 56, just a smidgen above where we are. Well, the last one was 55.6. If we get 56, 57, then take this home with you. Our crypto bags are going to explode. You know, it's going to be crazy town. And you've all got a ticket, I hope. Let's see if there's some people in the chat here. Some people saying hello to each other. Cindy Lou, good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. Hog smash that like and subscribe. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Crypto Jack. I never know if to call you Crypto Jack or Crypto Jake. I don't know why I added an E on the end of it. I think it's because I know someone called Crypto Jake, I think, on Instagram, who's a Pulse Bitcoiner, but I'm not sure if that's you, or I'm not sure if you're... There's so many people you could be. That's the problem with internet names, right? But thank you for being here. I'm doing well, Cindy Lou. Good to see you. It's a bit of an impromptu stream today, but we just thought we'd cover this Ethereum price. Let's see if anything's happened, shall we? Oh, yes, we're still moving up. That's good. So we're going live for this potential Ethereum breakout, which in turn will be good for our bags. Sip of wine here. Oh, I need to get rid of that stream will resume shortly banner, because the stream's already ongoing, guys, right? Yeah, let's have a quick look at ProveX. ProveX has been doing very well. Obviously being the thinnest liquidity of all the tokens. Privacy being a huge narrative coming up into this market. So there we are. It's I had one guy dumped $40,000 in one sell. I think you still got those guys in the buck fiat pool, kind of still making more profit than anyone else. So it's obviously got those growing pains of getting those guys out, but still looking very healthy. So we might see some of those guys start to exit, because if they got these prices, they're obviously sitting very comfortably in profit. You know, I'm not sure what price they bought. I haven't got that marked. Maybe I should look into that for next time. But yes, I believe this one. This one's more paired with stable coins than paired with PLS, unlike the rest of the tickers, and less paired with ETH, less paired with more paired with stables. So that's an experiment Rich is running. So this one is less. It seems like it's less, how do I put it, volatile than the other tickers. But I think the technology is going to be absolutely fantastic. I think it's going to be a really good tool for us all to use. So I think when we have Liberty Swap team, who have the ZKX wallet, when they've got their railgun implemented and they've got ProveX tied in, Pulse Chain is going to have a very, very seductive and attractive privacy narrative along with it. And I think the privacy narrative has been, what we've seen is in the first half of this bull cycle, is that the privacy narrative was probably one of the most powerful ones. So when I said that all coins hadn't really run, Zcash ran. You know, some of these other privacy, Monero ran very nicely. So they did very well, because we are living in a world where, as technology progresses, as much as technology can offer you freedom, it can also become a digital prison. So as much as crypto was created to set us all free, because of the nature of blockchain and the nature of AI and the fact that governments who are tyrannical, or tax offices that are also tyrannical, some trying to even tax you on basic trades before, you know, in the old days you'd declare your profit for the year, you would then declare that, and then they'd take your tax. Some of these countries now are trying to tax you on every trade, just basically making it impossible for you as a working class or middle class person to elevate yourself into higher states of wealth. So things like ProveX are a basic right. As Richard Hart says, the right to anonymous transactions, the right to private sales, I think is one of our human rights. We've moved into a world where the government wants to know everything and they want a piece of everything, whether they're serving you or not. They are basically a gang which threatens you with violence unless you pay them. I mean, tell me the difference between a local mafia boss that comes to your business every week for his 10%. Tell me the difference between a government. They both use the threat of violence if you don't pay them. Now, some people don't mind the mafia because they say, oh, they serve us. They help us out with this problem, this problem. There's never any violence in my neighborhood. There's never any, they take care of problems. But if your government no longer serves you, no longer protects you, puts you in constant wars, maybe floods you with dangerous migration, doesn't provide housing, then are you just being strong-armed into paying them for what they don't deserve? Food for thought, eh? So I would say the more privacy you have, I'm not suggesting you don't pay your taxes. I'm just saying the more privacy you have, not just from government, but from anyone with your private matters, the better. So I think ProveX has got a lot of, it's going to play a very important role for when we make our hundreds of X's or thousands of X's on Pulse Chain and Hex. Another one I like is Railgun. So this is an investment I have outside of Pulse Chain. So yeah, I've been buying, bought some there, been buying all the way up there. Now Railgun is obviously going to be integrated with Liberty Swap, which is cool. Now, I think this is a $100 token. It's currently sitting at $1.96. So this one's got massive legs. I think this one could go up to just in the near future. I mean, it went up in the past. This thing's gone up 60% in one day. It's only got a market cap of 130 million, but I think this one could power up another 50% or so if Ethereum moves. Whoops, we don't want that one open. But this one is mostly on Ethereum. But I think this one has a powerhouse move of another 50%, potentially in days. So if you want to diversify outside Pulse Chain, I think this is a pretty good one. It's pretty much my, Hex and Railgun are pretty much my biggest holdings on ETH. That's not in Pulse Chain. Yes, Richard Hart is ahead of the competition. So check out Rail. It's only available via decentralized exchanges, Uniswap and whatnot. PLSB is doing well right now. We're kind of after our massive pump up. We are from November. We are now we're kind of in this consolidation here. We're kind of in this consolidation, almost like in this triangle here. So once we break out of that, I expect a nice measure move. A nice measure move as the cores break out. Pretty much, we're pretty much going to go with Pulse Chain like we always do, right? But yeah, nice 6x there. I think that'll bring us to 22 cents. We need to beat this resistance here at 6 cents, 6.3 cents. We went from a third of a penny up to 6.3 cents in the last, from November to May. We've had a bit of consolidation here. We've added far more liquidity. $106,000 liquidity now. Only 1.1 million tokens for sale in the liquidity pools, and only about 800,000 remaining to be mined out of the 21 million. 1 million burnt. So this one's really interesting. Paired with ProveX, paired with Peacock. We got really nice pairings here going on. So this is very interesting. We're starting to have our weekly chats again in the Telegram room. CX My Pulse says, DeFi is the future. The whole world is coming. We are early. Yeah, with the best decentralized tools ever. I agree with that. And how's your onboarding been going, guys? Have you been onboarding in the real world? I know I have. I've started to dust off my onboarding cap, and I've started to have conversations with people in real life about them getting into crypto, getting into these DeFi assets, getting into Hex Pulse Chain and Pulse Bitcoin. Because I feel confident telling kind of people outside to get back in now. Because the bottom's in. It's very, very likely, 90% chance the bottom's in with Bitcoin. 95% chance the bottom's in with Ethereum. 99% chance I'd say the bottom's in with Pulse Chain and all of these assets we like on Pulse Chain. So it's a very safe area for suggesting people get in. Now, obviously, Sod's law is that you get someone into Pulse Chain or into an asset you like, and we all know as soon as you get a friend in, well, it kind of makes sense, right? Because usually what happens is we're holding these assets for so long, and then they eventually start moving, which gives us the confidence to onboard. But then the time we do that, they're usually due a pullback. So I always think start having the conversations with people saying, hey, did you know that thing I mentioned to you 6 months ago? It's up, 2, 3, 5x right now. And then usually it takes them a while to kind of get into it, right? So I'm talking to a couple of people tomorrow, showing them how to install their ZKX wallet and showing them how to go through Liberty Swap and what to do. And if someone has $5,000, then maybe suggest they use half of it to buy now. When you suggest, then maybe you wait another week in case there's a pullback for them to buy a pullback if there's a pullback. Because I've just found if you get them to YOLO the whole amount in, even though yes, you could go up, make them very happy, you could also pull back 30%, 20%. And you know what new people are like that aren't used to this kind of level of volatility? They'll be blowing up your phone every week saying, oh, that $5,000, I'm down 25%. What's going on? And it just causes you stress. So I think the important thing is when you onboard people, be very, very clear with them. The first thing you should be discussing with them is the time scale expectation. If you're onboarding someone for multi-cycles, that's very different. If you're onboarding someone for this bull run, that's very different. Be very realistic with them with the time scale you expect. So something I might say is, I don't know how long this bull run is going to go on for, but I believe it started. So let's say if you put $1,000 in, I would hold that for a minimum of 6 months to a maximum potentially of 18 months. But I'll let you know as we go, But I don't want you to worry so much about pullbacks in the short term. Only put money in that you're not worried about losing. This is essentially a lottery ticket with a lot higher odds than winning. So some people will go to the horse races and they'll spend $500, $5,000 in a weekend gambling on horses, or they'll go to the casino and they won't think anything of it. And then they might go and spend over the space of a year $500 in lottery tickets over 10 years, significant amount. But what you're offering them here is a chance where, yes, they could lose their money. Of course, they get hacked. They could, multiple reasons. So not too much money where they're going to cry about it. But they have a very high chance, very, very high chance of making life-changing money. And have a skill set and an understanding of the way money is going for the future. Because at this point, it's kind of essential that you understand how crypto works, especially DeFi works, if you want to have any sort of mental capability in the modern world with the way the financial system is moving. I do try onboarding in my circles that are investing in crypto stocks and stocks. Lately, it's becoming easier with hex pumps. Yeah, I agree with you on that. What's the project all about in Pulse Chain? Change OG1. I'm not sure what you're talking about, bro. What's this project? This is Pulse Bitcoin. So I'm the community leader of Pulse Bitcoin. It's a project been going on for 3 years or 5 years. I took over the project in terms of leadership 3 years ago. It's a better Bitcoin on a better network. So you can check that out, pulsebitcoin.wen at the bottom there, the banner. But 21 million supply. The founders burnt all their tokens. They've gone Satoshi mode. They basically got kicked out by the community. We got sick of them for not doing what they're supposed to do. We launched a community takeover, and yeah, we've gone up from a third of a penny up to 6 cents, and now we're ready to make our launch now up to $1. Here's the daily chart. So you can mine Pulse Bitcoin using ASIC mine tokens. This section was there was about 1, 2, 3, 4 halvings. We have faster halvings now. I think we're in the 5th halving. Now there's only a very small amount of Pulse Bitcoin in existence. So this was our high inflation area. I'm not even showing you the chart, am I? Sorry. That's not good a sign, is it? Yeah, there we are. So we kind of had 1, 2, 3, 4 halvings there. So we were kind of printing a lot for miners at the time in the first kind of few years of our existence there. So we were struggling to go up in price. But now, with only around a few 100,000 tokens now left to mine, we're starting to have this move up. And just to give you some context, that move up has been a nice 13x during the bear market. So we went up 13x during the bear market while Pulse was going down. Against PLS, we went up even higher. From the bottom here, we went up 36x against Pulse. So yeah, we're kind of consolidating against Pulse now. Liquidity around 103,000, 68 in this main pool. Yeah, so that's what this project is. Pulse Bitcoin.win. Well, good to see you, Vinny. Vinny's one of our Pulse Bitcoin guys. We're doing well, Vinny. We're just showing some Pulse Bitcoin to some people. We just covered Ethereum earlier. Conviction is hard to teach. Yes, it is. It certainly is. We've known this in Pulse Bitcoin. We know this in Hex. But the people that have the conviction tend to win hard. And it tends to be like you're going crazy for a certain while. You tend to get so bored, you start to think you're going crazy. And eventually, out of nowhere, you get these crazy pumps. I mean, I was sending people to buy eHex back in June. Well, no, back in March even. I switched out all my Ethereum for eHex back in March. I thought I was going crazy at one point, and then eventually I got my 6x, which we're in where we are now. I was telling people to buy Pulse Bitcoin back in November last year. We got our 33x or our 12x against the dollar. You know, people benefit when they listen to people that study this stuff all day. That's all I can say. You know, I'm not just a crazy guy. Well, maybe I am. What else we got in here? I was mining PBTC. Yeah, I keep noticing in many streams you keep calling it PBTC. It's PLSB is the correct ticker. PLSB. Yeah, you can start mining it again. Like mining is super cheap because basically ASIC token is super cheap compared to Pulse Bitcoin. Like Pulse Bitcoin right now is, what is it now? It's having a bit of a pullback on this. It's having a pullback on this bull flag, but it's 4 cents, right? And ASIC token is kind of like, it's like Bitcoin, like not many, only like 0.1% of Bitcoin holders actually mine it, right? So Pulse Bitcoin, probably around 1% people mine it, maybe, I don't know, 5%. But if we look at it, no, that's the wrong one. I'm looking at, yeah, ASIC is like, no one really cares about it, but it's only like half a cent, but let's say we're at 10 cents soon, or it's 4 cents now. So it's like you're mining a token which is currently 7x, 8x higher than what you bought at, right? It could be way higher. So you got to think to yourself, when Pulse Bitcoin's worth $1 each, back to $1 each, you know, it's worth thinking about. But with ASIC, you kind of want to make sure you're mining for multiple years. So I'd say if you're planning to stay with Pulse Chain and Pulse Bitcoin for at least 5 years to 10 years or the rest of your life, then definitely invest in some mining tokens. But otherwise, if you're just here to make maximum kind of profitability and easiness in your life, just buy Pulse Bitcoin. I mean, there's not much of it left. Just do that, you know, and it will outperform pretty much everything else you've got. So that's my advice, not financial advice, just advice from my experience. Yeah, let's have a look at those ratio trades I've been doing, because I know Crypto 7 keeps saying, "Oh, Pulse is going to outperform Pulse X, and Pulse X is more valuable than Pulse now, so you should rotate." And you know, let's see how I'm doing with that. Okay, so yeah, so that's the trade I took. I swapped my Pulse out for Pulse X back in here we are, back in 8th of June. We were kind of consolidating here. So I'm currently up, as today, 17%. It was up 23%, but now it looks like we're coming down to bounce off this triangle. So it looks like we're testing that support. We've kind of bounced off it potentially twice now. This is the weekly chart, even more powerful than daily chart. So we're potentially, if we close above this, I'm going to see that as a confirmation that this was a good trade, and I'll probably stay in the trade. If we start closing below, I'll probably exit the trade and take my 17% profit. But if not, we're probably going to move up towards my 100% profit of doubling my pulse by doing this trade. Yeah, that's pretty much that. So Crypto 7, I'm coming for you, buddy. I'm coming for you on this one. It's all fun and games. I love Crypto 7. He's a good friend now. Yes, so with Pulse Bitcoin, we are planning on adding some more liquidity with ProveX. We've got nice liquidity with Peacock at the moment. Let's have a look. Where is it? It's not that one. Not that one. There's $800 in that pool with ProveX. It's hardly anything. There's another one with 1.2K. Yes, there's like $2,000 with ProveX. There was like 7K, but that's kind of disappeared. We're going to start up a new pool directly on Liberty Swap with that one. Someone's got $1,000 against Hex. There's a $10,000 or $12,000 against EMIT, but I haven't got that one loaded. Let me see if I can quickly show that. 1 second. Yeah, but kind of the beauty of this of Pulse Bitcoin is our pairings. It's what makes us kind of not only unlimited supply, but our pairings. So Pulse Bitcoin and ASIC. Whoops. What am I doing, guys? There we are. So as you can see here, we have a farm. There's $9,000 in the Pulse Bitcoin EMIT. That's currently paying 40% APR. And then obviously we've got the other pools here. $10,000 with ASIC. But yes, so yeah, and EMIT's doing pretty good right now. It's the only reward token which is actually going up and not going to zero like every other reward token. Well, they're having a bit of a pullback now, like everything else. But yeah, they're 54% up from the bottom recently. And bearing in mind, this is an inflationary token that is a farming token, so it's very hard for these tokens to actually perform well on chain, you know. But there we are. They've been going sideways pretty much since their existence and providing huge APRs for their farming partners like Pulse Bitcoin and other tokens. Let's have a look. We've got some other comments here. I got 5.85 ETH, 40% bought a while ago. Yeah, nice. That's awesome. You must have bought ETH near the bottom. I think ETH is going to go to some crazy levels. Let's have a look at my weekly chart on ETH. So here's my weekly chart on ETH. I think ETH is going to minimum $7,500, $8,000, absolute bare minimum. Most likely $10,400, and obviously some people are calling for 30,000 if we do have this super cycle. But we'll see. Just imagine the sort of money we're going to have on X and Pulse Chain if X went to anywhere near $30,000. Oh my gosh, that's where you get your 10,000X, ladies and gentlemen. But more soberingly, if we get to what's a bare minimum, I think, of $8,000, we're going to be absolutely laughing. The SAC wallet is going to have $1.5 billion or so just in our sacrifice. The Hex OA account has got hundreds of thousands of ETH, potentially 170,000 I heard last. So just imagine the millions and millions of dollars pumped into our small liquidity tokens. And that's the point where, as I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, if we have a 10x on Pulse Chain for Christmas, that's going to be life-changing for me. It's not going to be FU money. It's not going to be, you won't see me with a bunch of hauls on a boat somewhere, no. But what I'm saying is it'll be life-changing in terms of I'll get my money back from buying these Hex tops. Don't know about you, but buying these bottoms is the way of kind of rescuing yourself from buying these tops a few years ago. And 100x would be absolutely life-changing, literally probably life-changing for my children. 1000x would be probably multi-generational life-changing for my children's children and their children. 10,000x is well, you got to be very careful at that point to look after your wealth at that point. That's probably more of a problem than a good thing, I'd say. Super Snake says, I've been mining with 500k ASIC for years. Oh, wow. I thought I saw you around. Amazing how little PSP it yields nowadays. Yeah. So now we're on the fourth, I think, halving. Is it fourth halving or fifth halving? So currently we're only mining, this mining cycle, we're mining 650,000 PLSP. We're 62% or 61% of the way through this halving. So we've mined around 400,000 of that. The second halving will only be 325,000 POS Bitcoin available. And that's the mining sessions usually lasting around 6 to 8 months. After that, you're talking about just over 100,000 POS Bitcoin. After that, just over 50,000. So you can see how this supply shock is starting to take effect and the price is starting to go up quite aggressively. And being paired against a token like Pulse, which is going up very aggressively, when Pulse tends to go down, we go up against Pulse, and when Pulse tends to go up, we tend to go down against Pulse, but we go up in the US dollar. It drags us up for Hart's Law, so it's been working great for us. Yeah, I mean, I hope you're utilizing, I hope you're dual mining with Pulse Litecoin app and mining Pulse Bitcoin and Pulse Litecoin, because Pulse Litecoin is only going to have 1/4 of the supply of Pulse Bitcoin. And I think once we do a 100x, like there's going to be plenty of liquidity for Pulse Litecoin. It's going to be quite astounding. It's going to be like our little add-on meme token that we're going to have. So you might as well mine it for free, right? If you're not paying for it. And you can currently put it in a farm and pair it with your Pulse Bitcoin and earn, I think it's around 40% APR. So why not? You earn that in EMIT. But yeah, shout out to you, man. We got so many diamond-handed holders in Pulse Bitcoin. We're like so quiet because we've been around for so long. All these tokens that are new, they're like a flash in the pan. Everyone's shouting about them and then they go quiet, right? But Pulse Bitcoin just steadily goes along. Not been hacked, not been exploited in 5 years since our code was started. And yeah, we're trucking along, doing well. I think we'll be the first and one of the last tokens on Pulse Bitcoin, on Pulse Chain, sorry. Yeah. Sorry for you guys that tuned in for more. I'll stop talking about Pulse Bitcoin because I didn't want the whole stream to be about that. But he says emits with PSB, emit farming, you can make DAI. Yep, you can. Yeah, and to be honest, I'm thinking about talking to some other. I'm potentially looking at Radon X. If their token performs well over the next few months, stabilizes, doesn't dump, I may talk to them about opening up some additional farms with them. So Pulse Bitcoin users have somewhere else to go apart from emit.farm to farm with their tokens. Because we're a store of value, we want to give people options to earn interest on their Pulse Bitcoin. I have it stake, I think 7k for as possible. Yep. Okay, so he's talking about Ethereum. 12k down the line, but maybe 2030. Okay, so you're thinking next cycle then, rather than this cycle. 10k ETH, 0.01 PLS, perhaps, my friend, perhaps. Okay, he says we're smashing that daily close. Yeah, so we're 15 minutes away now from the daily candle. Let's see if we're going to get what we said we might get. Let's have a look. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting to move up here. Here we go. This is why we did the stream. Okay, we're starting to get close now. Let's load up the screen share. Okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to try and watch this live. I need to charge this phone for a bit, so I'm going to play some adverts. I'm going to come back in 5 minutes and yeah, let me charge my phone for a bit. I'm back in 5 minutes and we'll continue the show. Let's get some music on, shall we? Yes, let's do that. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, hopefully we get a nice breakout together and we get to celebrate this. So let me put on the banners, letting people know we'll be back shortly. Okay. And let's play some music, I guess. Yeah, drop your comments in for when we get back. Okay. Not sure how the volume is.
Newest build. $982 watts. Got these custom rigs being built at 240, 232 mega hash.
So 29 and change.
Got a lot more to go.
Yo.
See, as you can see, we're putting more together here. Here I am in 2018 setting up crypto mining facilities. I'm sure our clients make great profit if they held their coins. Fast forward a few years, Bitcoin mining is simply not profitable to continue. Over time, the difficulty increases. It's a huge waste of resources. Energy costs increase. It requires massive overhead with upkeep, and it's harmful to our environment. A much needed innovation has emerged, and it's called Pulse Bitcoin. It's faster, has a limited supply of 21 million coins, has better price appreciation, and it's DeFi compatible with Ethereum. It's proof of stake ASIC token mining that anyone can do from their phone or computer. The user can simply stake their ASIC tokens with just a few clicks of a mouse at pulsebitcoin.app. Stake your ASIC tokens for 30 days to yield Pulse Bitcoin. Unstake to claim your PLSB. You can then restake your ASIC to start another 30-day cycle. You can buy Pulse Bitcoin and ASIC using DeFi at CowSwap or your favorite DEX. Why is Pulse Bitcoin a true DeFi asset? Fair launch. Absolutely no special supply allocation. Supply begins at 0 and only becomes available 30 days after launch, if participants start mining day 1. It's 100% transparent, open source smart contract. It has a code security audit completed by CertiK. No unfair distribution. All Pulse Bitcoin must be mined fairly, defined by the smart contract. No sacrifice phase or ICO. No venture capital or special insider funding taken or received. No purchase tax, sell tax, reflection fees, referral program, or hidden penalties. It is not meant to be a financial security in any capacity. You must have no expectations of monetary gain or profit from this crypto project. If you do, it is by your own work and effort. Pulse Bitcoin has the fastest growing community as it leads the industry in adoption and support, teaching new users about security and providing the fundamentals for being a successful investor.
Okay, we're back. We're back in action. Just realised this thing looks like I've got like some screen here, but it's actually like a what's it called? Like a thing for my window. But anyway, yes, we're back. We took a short break. We are 3 minutes out from the daily close on Ethereum. Let's see, shall we? Let's see if they're going to pump it for us. Will they give us glory tonight, or we have to wait further into the week, or possibly next week? Well, I think either way, we're going to have some action. We're going to either get rejected here and straight back down, but we currently have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to see if the Bulls want to take charge and break us out of this holding pattern here on this bull flag. Let's have a look at the RSI. Yeah, so the RSI is just trying to break out here as well. We are in the bullish control zone, but we still want to break this above resistance we have here. MACD is looking good, looking like it wants to cross, and if we get this breakout, it will cross. So how is everyone feeling right now? Let's have a look. Always good to see you, Moon Mutt. Let's get rid of that banner. Yeah, good to see you, Moon Mutt. Thanks for always supporting. You're always around. And Super State says, yeah, dual money for sure. I remember the massive FUD Gunther and Pizza Man had. Yeah, how things have changed, right? So the important thing to remember here is never let people fudge out of your bags just because they're running over something new. Everything they created went to shit. So for those of us that stuck with our beliefs, stuck with our passion, we didn't have to import our passion and our hodl from someone else. We did it together. We provided liquidity as a community, and now we're experiencing really good gains. Gains that those guys never, ever, ever managed to create. I think the token launched at $1. They managed to get up to $2, $3. It's the most they've ever did, right? We've managed to, from the bottom, managed to do a 33x against Pulse, 12x against US dollar, and I think we're going back up to $1, probably even more, depending on how Pulse Chain does. So life-changing gains here for us because we're people with conviction. And let's go to the hourly. So here we are. We're trying to break out here, ladies and gentlemen. We need to see a little bit more strength here. We're running low on time here. 20 seconds left. It doesn't look like we're going to break out today, but it could most probably happen in the next few hours. We got 2.64% up for ETH against 0.6 for. Let's see how we're doing against. Let's see how we're doing ETH BTC. Let's go 4 hour here. So it's definitely, it looks like a breakout here. It's not the strongest one. Okay, it looks like we just ticked over for the day. Still pretty good. We still closed this nice, strongly daily candle. I mean, if you wanted to be really bearish, and you were still, the bears were still trying to hope here, you could draw a line here and say we've had 2 touches there. But this is still looking pretty good. We've just had the 9 EMA across the 21. So obviously you see we dip below here, and this does happen sometimes. You see here, sometimes before we get a pump, we get a dip below. And like we saw here, ladies and gentlemen, and maybe we get a recovery pump now. So we still need to take out this local high here. And then really we want to see a nice clean break above here. So we want to see ETH BTC continue this trend over the next day. And really we want to see a nice clear 3% move, close a nice 3% candle, or at least a 2.2% candle against BTC. No admin keys on PLSB, not PBTC. I'll type it for you. PLSB. Yeah, no admin keys on PLSB. There we are, my friend. PLSB is the one you're looking for. The PWBTC is not the droid you're looking for. No, we don't want that wrapped shit. We want the stuff that's built natively on Pulse Chain with faster halvings, which is truly DeFi compatible, that can make us exponential gains. That's what we want. None of that kind of wrapped bullshit that people can just bridge in from another chain and just dump on you any minute they want. No. Right. Yeah, please remember to give this a like and a share. Is there anything else you guys want to see? Let's quickly check Pulse. How's Pulse doing? Has Pulse recovered? Yeah, it's starting to recover. It was down 10% earlier. It's now only down 5% on the 24-hour. It looks like it's had a nice bounce. Yeah, I want to see the RSI start picking up, but I think really, ladies and gentlemen, it's all down to what Ethereum decides to do here. It looks like it's struggling, but we'll see. We'll see what happens overnight. It's late here. We'll see what happens with the late US traders and see what the Asian market wants to do. But I think that's it from me. And then if obviously if we pump, we'll go live tomorrow. Okay. But thanks very much for joining me. Stay invested, stay strong, keep onboarding, and I'll see you soon. God bless.
In the beginning, nothing moves. No noise, no attention. Just time, becoming scarce. Before it's obvious,